Hey guys, welcome. This is tiebreaker match for advancing to the quarterfinals. This is between Team Speedflyer and Team Fluffy Unicorns. Have I ever played Sue? Yes. Or were you just saying that because of the players all having Sue there? Yep. It should be really interesting. They both went 0-3. And so only one team is going to advance. My Foot's team, do they have a name? Yeah, Sir Muscat and the gang's team. All of the players dropped out of the tournament except for My Foot. Golden Shield and Crusade never really showed up in the first place. Aslak, Sir Muscat dropped out. So they are not going to be advancing to quarterfinals. And then, yeah, it's just going to be this match to decide who makes it to quarterfinals and who does not. I have a 2-minute delay. I decided to start doing that based on the just advice, and also in tournament matches, just prevent stream sniping a little bit better. Rise said he's going to be 2 minutes late. He's got a discharge he's got to do real quick. This is funny. Who does not? Oh, hey Chosen. Did I ever play Sue last night? No, it was not rolled for me. Yeah, that's the answer. I still have a Sue match to owe you. All right, so we're waiting on Riot, Riot Coke, and I believe that's it. All right, viewers, if you want the Team Speedflyer to ban a map first, then vote for their team in with ones. And if you want Daniel's team, Fluffy Unicorns, to ban the map first, vote for their team number 2. Alright, we are going to do a random map now. Malaysia. And let's see, Malaysia and Dhaka were the ones not on it, so we are going to do it right now. And the map that is gonna be the first match is gonna be played on is Manchuria. Excuse me, sneeze. Are you hot?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear me good?
I can hear you just fine, yes. And
Awesome, awesome.
yeah, your volume level should be just about perfect. It's about the same as mine. Um,
Looking good.
ports. So Daniel's team. Oh, I need to share for you. Screen share.
Yes, please, sir.
That way you can actually see what's going on.
I could just guess. You could just describe it to me and we don't screen share. Maybe it will be.
Yeah, we could try that. That'd be fun. So
Yeah.
Daniel's team picks ports first. Speedflyer's team responds with Dutch, and then French for Daniel's team. So French and ports, and Dutch on the other team so far.
So, what are the civ bands?
The Civ bans, Brits were banned for Daniel's. Like Daniel's team cannot play Brits, and Speedflyer's
Yeah.
team cannot play France.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah. Aztec picked up by Speedflyer's team.
Ooh,
That is unusual. I think that might be the first Aztec in this tournament. I believe it is.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty good, I think, on this map because you can be aggressive and then they can just basically win C against almost every civ, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Aztec Water is definitely nerfed a whole lot on EP.
Yeah.
But they are okay. Daniel's team picks Dutch, so we have the full team from them: Ports, French, and Dutch. And for the other team, we have Aztec and Dutch currently. They're gonna pick one more Civ. Um, yeah, Aztec is nerfed a whole lot on IP. They don't have Admiralty, so no late game superpower. They still have the Water Dance. The amount of boats that they can make is also limited. I don't believe they can make as many. What are they called? The Tlaloc canoes. Basically, their strongest ones. They're limited at making 5.
Is that the basic limit or just after Admiralty though?
I believe after Admiralty on RE they can make like 12 or something. Um,
Yeah,
so I'm pretty sure that was nerfed. I could double check. I could be wrong. Um, but they picked Japan. Okay.
interesting civs.
All right. So yeah, very interesting. Japan, Dutch, and Aztec versus France, Ports, and Brits. I mean France, Ports, and Dutch. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like the Speedflyers team maybe have some idea what to do because I don't know. I feel like their civ combo is not bad, but it's just unusual with the Japan and Aztec.
Yeah, it is a very unusual for sure. Um, yeah. Aztec does have the potential to boom. Reading chat
True.
a little bit. Um, JaiLeD solo cast might be preferable. He is a bit muffled. Is his
Oh,
is Hot Girl's volume too low? Is that what you're saying, or just his mic quality?
maybe I can try and fix that. 1 second.
Yep, they can see the link. I don't need to go team 3, but whatever. Black Duck is making a deck. Apparently he has finished it. So we are getting into the game. This is game number 1 of the tiebreaker between Fluffy Unicorns and Team Speedflyer. I will be paying attention to the chat a little bit, and also I'm here with Hot Girl. He's going to be co-casting with me, and it should be pretty interesting. We have a very unique civs in Japan, Dutch, and Aztecs for this map. I like Japan. I like Dutch. Aztecs is, I feel, unique, especially with Dutch and Japan.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think they will still go aggressive with the Japan, or will they play more eco?
I'm thinking more eco.
Yeah.
I don't expect aggressiveness from Japan, obviously. And while Dutch can be aggressive, they're so very strong. One of the very best booms on EP. They get 5 banks instead of 4 right off the bat, or they have the ability to make 5 right off the bat. So their boom is very, very good, and they can get 5 banks down really fast.
Yeah. And especially with if the Aztec sends Team 3 Wills pretty early.
Yeah.
He should be able to outdo the Riot Cokes Dutch based off of that.
Yeah, perhaps we could see a little bit of aggressiveness early, and then falling back into Aztec on C. Aztec on C is not the best until cards are sent and until they're H3+.
Yeah. Could you check his deck, or is that maybe spoiling on stream?
I'll check his deck in game.
Yeah, that's better. I agree.
Yeah, so this should be interesting. Perhaps I think aggressiveness early and then falling back to Aztec C later would be really good. Of course, if a team really wants to win water, they can all 3 of them send warships, and then they can win water pretty early if they decide to do so. Obviously, a shipment used early for that is not always best though.
Yeah, if in these type of tournament games though, I think because normally the teams are in voice chat together, you can coordinate the 2 caravel shipments much easier. I would say the Speedflyers team did that against my team on this map actually, where they all sent 2 caravels basically at the same time.
Yeah. I don't think they ended up winning though that game. When they didn't win that game, but they
no.
C was still contestable, but it was pretty strong.
Yeah.
They say hot girl's using a voice changer because you must be a girl.
Yeah. No, I'm not a girl. However, I am a hawk. So it's the animal sounds that's translated into human speech, I guess.
Yeah, we're just waiting on ESO to be back up, guys. I apologize for the well, I don't even apologize. It's not my fault. I apologize to the viewers because
it's up now for me though.
It's up for you? It's not up for me. I can just go ahead and go if it's up for others. This is the first game. Hashtag Yohi. Yeah, first game. This is game number 1 of the 6th match of play-ins. This is a tiebreaker. Both teams went 0-3 in their first play-in match. It is Team Speedflyer versus Team Fluffy Unicorns. Do you want to introduce the players and the civs, Hot Girl?
Yeah, sure. The Speedflyers team, they played against my team in the first round. They have Speedflyers, the Japanese, as Star Nine as the Dutch, and Outcast as the Red. Sorry, as the Aztec. And then in the other team, Daniel's team, what's the name?
Fluff.
Fluffy Unicorns.
Yes, fluffy unicorns.
Yeah, we have Daniel playing ports. I'm looking forward to seeing his ports. He's pretty good with them. And then it's Black Duck for with the French and Riot Coke with the Dutch. And they played against Haas's team in round one.
Yeah. So I am really. I believe this is a completely fair map generation. Yeah, it's a. I mean, there's maybe one more. It's really, really close. I'm
Yeah.
really glad. A previous match we had on Manchuria, we had to restart it like 4 times, and then even on the fourth generation, there was an extra
Yeah.
mine in the back for one team.
Yeah.
I believe it was
But
Speedflyers that was Speedflyer versus Hot Girls match that was like that.
yeah, in the end, we just said, no, we don't care. We'll just play.
Yep.
But again, what's always interesting to note from the start is that the TP line is 4 on the side and not 3 per team in the back.
Yep.
And I'm not sure who that favors. I would say that's probably a little bit better for Team Speedflyer because they don't have a civilization that normally would like to TP boom as easy as maybe French could go stagecoach if they would have 3 TPs in the back, for example.
Yeah. Yeah. There's 2 ways to look at it. Why is
It doesn't start. It doesn't start, and he's blaming me.
All right, so yeah, there's 2 ways to look at the TP line. Starting like this, it can benefit a team that has more aggression early, because they can take out, or have 3 trade posts more or less. Um, although sometimes you're going to be wanting to rush the water side, make sure they can't do docks and whatnot. Looks like the game is starting. Just took a little bit to start. This is, yeah. Yeah, so there's also the aspect of looking at which Sibs like the TPs more, as you were saying. Yeah, Team Fluffy Unicorns definitely prefers the TPs a little bit more. Dutch don't really focus it too much. Aztecs, not too much. And Japan, not too much. While both Portuguese and France likes it, for sure.
Yeah, so I did not see. I guess it was a wood start because it looks like Japan is going for a consulate.
Looking at it, yeah, it was a wood start. Yep.
Yeah, so it's gonna go with a port consulate, which is nice. He can age up sooner, and if he wants to go greedy, he can send 3 fishing boats as soon as he ages up to H2 from
Yeah,
the consulate.
yeah. Looking at these civs, it does benefit Japan the most. However, it's really nice for Portuguese and France to get the trade posts out early. Aztec can also get a trade post out early if they decide to, and possibly get a little bit of wood treasures and get the fire pit out a little bit later for, in a way, 2 TP start.
Yeah, so both Daniel and Black Duck is going for an H1 TP. It's pretty
Mhm.
standard for French,
Yep.
maybe not as standard for ports, uh, but definitely viable.
Yeah. Daniel just got a 90 wood treasure. That's really nice. That allows him to get the house out. He is. Let's look at economic units real quick. He was idled for a bit. His TC was idled for a bit, but that can still be good. Getting the TP out, that's kind of, in a way, worth about 2 villagers. So it's a net gain for sure.
Yeah. I guess the next or the first interesting thing to see is the Yak War. Normally, you want to go to the middle right away because that's where the most Yaks spawn or water buffaloes.
Yeah.
And it looks like Speedflyer's team kind of won that war.
Yeah, for sure. Both Portuguese and France went to the trade posts. Although they did so, Team Speedflyer had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 explorers and scouts, and on the other side, the other team had 5 explorers and scouts too. But 2 of them were tied up building the trade post. So the Yak War
Yeah, that's
definitely
true.
goes to advantage Speedflyer. It looks like it's 6 Yaks as opposed to 12. So advantage there. Looking at the decks, the shipment sent very standard there. We'll look at the decks real quick. It looks like a water deck from ports.
Interesting.
No 600 wood. I
And
usually
not a
expect that.
shipment sent. Yeah. Oh, he just sent us its shipment, so I'm
Yeah,
almost sure it's schooners on the way.
yeah, I agree. You don't need to send schooners before you start. You don't need to send it right away, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Looking at Dutch deck, it's pretty standard. 700 food is interesting. Maybe possibly 700 coin is better. Um, no, one thing I am noticing is there's very little military shipments out from Daniel Fluffy Unicorn's team in H2.
Yeah.
On the other side, Aztec does have C deck, but they also have 6 Pumas and 10 Maces. I think possibly it will be some early aggression. They don't have infantry train faster, 3 warrior priests, or 5 villagers. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that is interesting. They don't have a 3 war shipment or even
infantry
the
train faster,
infantry training. Yeah.
which does affect warrior priests, which is why we're mentioning that.
Yeah.
Um, and looking at Japan's deck, he's also C. Okay, so Japan and Aztec C is very interesting. Dutch also has some warships and also has the fluid hit points. Okay, this is
Yeah.
intriguing. There might be 3 going C, but you can't. I don't know. I think it'll be probably in some early aggression. Let's look at the military shipments real quick. I think some early aggression, not extended H2 aggression, but probably some early aggression, followed by some C. That'd be what I expect their game plan to be based on their decks.
Yeah. What do you think about Japan sending 3 fishing boats as their first card
I
instead of like Heavenly Kami or something?
I think that's good. Heavenly Kami is really good if you're booming super hard with shrines. If you're rushing in a situation like this, I think it's really good to send the 3 fishing boats.
Ah, yeah, that's true. They're FBing. That's a
Yeah,
good point.
if you're trying to boom super hard, I can understand Heavenly Kami being better, but in a case like this, definitely better for. Okay, that's interesting. I was not
What?
expecting that. 3 war huts coming out from Outcast. I don't think I agree with that personally.
That's
250 wood can be used for coyotes or maces.
yeah. Why would you ever cut for a third one?
I would perhaps even go with like if you're wanting to get like the first units out faster, just age up with like the Skull Knights or something.
Yeah, yeah,
I do have to say though, while I wouldn't suggest doing this, it is going to allow them a little bit more control over their FB, so it'd be a lot harder to push it back when they do go C.
that is true. But if you look at Outcast's pop, he's been pop capped at 2020 for quite some time.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Yep.
if he just didn't build that warrant, he could have just had the pop space to be pumping units already.
Yep, I agree.
And as you can see on the sea, there's already 2 caravels for each team being shipped.
Yeah, yeah. Just pressuring, making sure it's okay. And the 2 funes. I don't know if you said that, but
No, I didn't see it actually. So it's 2 funes and then 5 ashi from Japan. So not a very economic build.
No, definitely not. They're wanting to make sure that going very heavy sea. I think they should have gone with some more land aggression and then ship those because if they ship those in a bit, they're still gonna have the advantage when it comes to sea. Oh, this is maybe a bit of miss micro. Star 9 was focusing the dock instead of the caravel. It's a shame.
Ye-
We do have a
Yeah.
we do have a dock out. Oh, we have 2 docks out from Daniel. I'll see what happens there. Looking back at the land aggression here, can look at the military units out. That'd be interesting to see at this point. So, Fluffy Unicorns is making some military. They aren't going to get swamped by this. They weren't completely caught out of surprise. They saw the FB as it was going up.
Ye- Okay, 1 second. I think my battery's about to die.
Alright, we have 3 banks out from Riot Coke. He's not focusing on booming too hard. That happens sometimes as Dutch. We have the Cav coming in here. That was nice. Perhaps they were saying earlier that there was a delay, so I'm not sure if that's what's going on. Some Cav coming from the back. Okay. I think this will be stopped by Fluffy Unicorns. And it looks like this dock is not going up here. That's really important. We'll go back to shipments sent for you guys. It looks like an additional caravel was made by Daniel. And this caravel is going down. Looking good for Fluffy Unicorn's team so far. The economy, there's definitely an economy lead for Fluffy Unicorns. It's 102 to 84 currently. I don't think I agree with the choice of Pumas here with so many Ashy. A few is fine. If he goes many more, that would be a mistake in my opinion. Yeah. Dutch going Cav. It's not exactly ideal early on. It's totally fine though. Later on, they don't have a whole lot of upgrades. We'll see if Daniel's team continues to control water or not. It's 3 water deck civilizations. This is a big mass out from Japan. He went 600 and 600. Looking at his shrines, he only has 5 shrines out. Actually, he may not even have that many. Yeah, he's Toshugo shrine. So he has 3 shrines out, excluding the Wonder. Interesting here. I definitely give the advantage at this point to Fluffy Unicorns, but it's really, really close. Anything can happen, of course. They maybe have like a 10% advantage.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I am back now.
Welcome back.
My computer took a hiatus, but it's back on track. All right.
Yeah, that's a good point, Smurf. Outcast might have not been aware that there was 2 war huts on RE. You do not get 2 war huts with the age up. But yeah, I know Outcast plays RE a lot. Looking at the military unit populations, actually advantage Fluffy Unicorns at the moment. They also have the economy advantage. Cav coming in. If enough of the Ashy are cleaned up, there's a lot of Ashy improvement. There's actually not many light infantry skirms, if you will, skirmisher type units out from Speedflyer's team.
Yeah, I like actually in theory that the Aztec is going more coyotes because skirms at range just really it's really good against mace and everything.
Yeah.
They just outrange everything basically. So they need something to just get close and get in.
Yeah, early age too though, I'm totally fine with going a lot of maces just because they're a lot cheaper. 40 food, 30 wood versus 50 food, 65 coin. That's a significant difference. You can now have almost you can have like 1.6 or 1.7 times as many units as the opponent if you had equal resources used. So I don't know. I'm fine with either way. Looking at a Dutch, he is on 5 banks right now. Looking good for him. Looking at C real quick, we still have one Caravel. Okay, so we do have a dock back up from Star Nine's team. It looks like Fluffy Unicorns is pushing into the FB. This is where the 3 war huts could actually be really important if they fight under them.
Yeah, they're not super close together though, so they can almost siege one down without being affected from the others.
Yeah.
And the other Dutch seems to be on 3 banks only, if I saw that correctly.
Yep. 3 banks is what I saw too.
So
So
I would
go ahead.
I would definitely just say that the advantage is for the fluffy unicorns here.
Yeah, definitely. One thing we've noticed is that, or one thing I've noticed is that during the games, usually the team that booms harder wins. That's just been a consistent theme in this tournament. That's not always the case. There has been some cases where a team that has rushed really hard has won, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. You have like the defender's advantage normally if you are being rushed.
Yeah.
Reinforcements are closer, etc.
Yep.
And in this game, it seems at least 2 players from Speedflyer's team went on C, but Daniel seems to be handling it alone quite well. He's controlling at least half of the sea, I'd say.
Yeah, 2 players shipped warships. I think they were trying to stop the. Oh, I think this is going to be pushed back. How many maces are there? Look at military units real quick. Only 9 maces. Okay, this won't be pushed back.
Yeah. Now French is H3. Oh, and the other Dutch, Star 9.
Right. So we have both of the Dutch H3 and the France. Obviously, it's better to. Oh, we have ports also going up right now too.
Yeah, and they held the push. So in this stage, here's when I would like to see like 3 warrior priest and start to warrior priest boom, but of course it's not in the deck. So
Yeah, he only has one warrior priest out. The economy for Aztecs is definitely going to lag behind without any military shipments. He sent Team 3 villas very late too. It was his fifth card.
yeah.
Looking at his deck, I guess he's just going 600 coin from now on. He doesn't, unless he goes C. I don't think there's another option for him, really. I mean, he could send 2 war canoes, but
Yeah.
yeah.
He's gonna age, so he just started aging and he sent 2 war canoes.
Yeah, reading the chat, this is a best of 3. It's not going to be all 3 games played because this is the last game for play-ins. Whoever wins it is going to be advancing the quarterfinals. So it's not a play all 3. It is a best of 3, unlike the other games and play-ins. There is not a bracket up currently because this is, again, play-ins. But there will be a bracket up after this game as soon as we get it set up. It shouldn't be too long. Yeah.
So there's a bit of a push coming in, but I don't think it'll do much.
We do see Aztecs going H3. I think that's important. I'm going to look at the deck really quick. Okay, wait. That's an interesting card. You don't see all the time. Villagers gather from coins 40% gather from mines 40% faster. It's really nice. But on this map, there's not a whole lot of mines. If they had C, I think it'd be better. Excuse me. We have a frigate that was shipped from Star 9. He's just trying to take this out ASAP. 2 Funes were made by Speedflyer, it looks like. Yes. They're trying to control C now. I think that's a good choice. I don't think you really can do a whole lot of anything else at this point. If you win C, you at least have a win condition. If they just let C slide back and they just tried to make units on land, they would have no win condition, I don't think. But I mean, they're gonna have to survive on land long enough. It's gonna be a difficult feat for them.
I agree, but I think they pushed too hard on C because they were under his advanced dock, which actually they killed. So maybe I will correct myself there. If they can clean the docks, then that might be a really good way to win, actually.
Yeah, looking at the economy lead, it's actually an advantage of Team Speedflyer at the moment. Now it's just a matter of surviving long enough for their military. And ooh, I kind of like this actually. Let me look at the Aztec. Okay, he doesn't have town dance, but having the war huts and the noble huts out and FB buildings forces the opponent to. Well, that doesn't force them to take them out, but they will often take them out and buy you some time. So, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. So on land, it looks really good for fluffy unicorns at the moment, but on sea, I think they don't have a single dock for the Daniels team right now.
Um,
So
yeah. Responding to Daniel's team does not have a single dock. Responding to Haza in chat, he did in fact make a war hut. He did not. He did not get the war hut treasure or the stable treasure, if you will. I think perhaps he was used to the RE patch where you only get one war hut. I'm not sure. But yeah. We see the economy lead squarely in Speedflyer's team, but it might be too little too late. We will see. The military lead is strongly in favor of Fluffy Unicorns, twice the military unit population.
yeah, I'm trying to see. I'd like to see Japan go some Yumi right now because they don't have a lot of hand cav in Fluffy Unicorns.
Yeah, they
Let's see,
do have some
Shifu-
cannons too.
yeah.
I like the amount of cavalry out, but there's a lot of goons out, a whole lot of goons out from Fluffy Unicorn's team. So I agree with Yumi for sure. Perhaps something like some Yumi Skirms, some Eagle Runner Knights, some Arrow Knights mixed in. I think that might be one of their best unit compositions at the moment. We'll see what they go for though.
Yeah, I agree. They need some way to deal with the Falcons.
For sure.
Could you check the Aztec player if he has the warrior priest going, or is he just?
Oh yeah, I can check that. He has some going. He has 4,
Yeah.
5, 6. Okay, he's got 6 out, but that's obviously not 10. It loses 1. It looks like it's going to be pressured really heavily here, though. It's 206 military unit population, 218 to 96. On C, it looks like Daniel's just kind of let them have C at this point. He's like, okay, well, we've won land. We're going to win land. You can't do a whole lot about that. You're not going to have time for your economy on C to catch up. If we put pressure enough on land and you boom too hard on C, we automatically win. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think at this moment they might just not be able to ever kill this land army, and then who really cares about C?
Yeah. I mean, C does matter if Team Speedflyer can delay it long enough. Well, we'll see what happens though.
Yeah.
Some raids in the back. What Team Speedflyer needs to do at the moment is not lose too much eco. You're obviously going to lose some. I don't think there's any way to not, obviously. But they need more importantly than that even is to not lose their military. If they get their army whittled down as they're making more, they're never going to have a military advantage. Yeah. We do see all players in Age 3, though. We have 7. Let's go to military units real quick. You guys can take a look at that. 7 Falconets out from Riot Coke. That's really nice. Really nice. We also have 5 out from Star 9. So the micro of these cannons is going to be really important. There's a decent amount of goons out for Team Fluffy Unicorn, so they might be able to use that to take out some of the cannons as needed, though.
Yeah, that's a good choice, I think, for Star 9 to add cannons.
Yeah,
Maybe I would have liked to see some calves first.
yeah, it's hard to say for sure. Culverins are really obviously the opponent has cannons. It'd be a good choice, but if you're making Culverins, opponents can just mass. I mean, they have a lot of goons, so you don't have something to deal with the larger military. Cannons are like a good way to come back. If your opponent has a larger mass, cannons require less resources than other units for how strong they are, and they're really good at just at allowing you to deal with big masses of units.
Yeah, that's true. And also at this point, Japan is almost H4, so he can send the flaming arrows, which is sort of a calv slash falconet mix.
Yeah. Yeah, I think flaming arrows would be a better choice than cannons. I agree with that. It's a nice unit that can be both anti-infantry and anti-cannon at the same time. And I believe they have 28 range, so they do outrange the falconets just a bit too.
Yeah, yeah, they do outrange. Let's see, Daniel is also a H4 now, so we might see some heavy cannons from him. I'm not sure.
Daniel's not H4, Speedflyers is, so Japan
Uh,
H4. Um,
both are.
oh, oh, now he's right. Gotcha. He just aged up. Gotcha. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. My concern is really that they're just too far behind militarily. The economy lead is squarely in Fluff Unicorn's hands now. They still have ships that have not been, or fishing boats that have not been cleaned up by Speedflyer's team. That's an oversight there for sure. We have new town centers being put up by Outcast. He's kind of out of the game at this point. I don't even see any war huts or noble huts out from him. Yeah. It looks like Fluffy Unicorns is pulling back. Okay. With the Culverins and the Flaming Arrows, that's a good choice, though.
Yeah, I think they did a lot of damage. They basically killed Outcast,
Yeah.
and actually, Team Speedflyer, they're not really booming so hard on sea. They don't have a
They
lot of
aren't.
fishing boats themselves.
Correct. We can look at economic units, and you can see how many they have. It's 13 fishing boats out, and there's still 7 out from Daniel. Okay. So this fight will decide who wins for sure. Well, not for sure, but if Speedflyer loses this fight, then they're pretty much out. It looks like they're gonna win though. The cannon advantage is definitely in the favor of Team Speedflyer.
Yeah, but if you look at the scores, I'd say Fluffy Unicorns has got a pretty good hold of this game right now.
Yeah, for sure. They're like 300-ish score ahead. Daniel is that ahead of Outcast, and both Speedflyer and Star 9 are just slightly behind Black Duck and Riot Coke. Yeah. Looking at Japan's deck, he did have the dock cheaper fishing boat basically card. So that card would allow him to. Let's see if he sent it. I don't think he did. No, he didn't send it. And I wouldn't have sent it late into the game already at this point. But yeah, okay. Speedflyer does find the fishing boats. That's probably due to their own fishing boats being out. It looks like Aztec is starting to build some fishing boats of his own. No schooners, no team schooners though, so that's interesting to note.
Yeah, Fluffy Unicorns also have the 4 TP Stagecoach now.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. The fishing boat's finally cleaned up. That's good. I don't. If Daniel wanted to build some warships, he could put a dock here, and it's not being scouted or patrolled by Speedflyer's team.
That's true, but honestly I don't think he has to. I think they
I
can
agree.
just get their eco in order, and then maybe right click in a minute or two with full pop guard units.
Yeah, I agree. They have the 290 eco to 218. That is a big difference. But I mean, at the same time, let's see. Look at the civs. Late game, if it does get there, I don't expect it to, but if it does get there, Japan and Aztecs are very strong late game. So are Ports and French. I would probably favor on EP. I would favor Japan and Aztecs maybe just slightly more. On RE, definitely France and Ports. It's really close though. Um, yeah.
Yeah, it is close. Yumi and Eagle Runner Knights late game can be pretty lame.
Yeah, for sure. Eagle Runner Knights, Yumi, absolutely amazing. Eagle Runner Knights, for their population, is the best goon type unit, ranged cavalry unit in the game. And for Japan, the Yumi is arguably the best skirmisher type unit, ranged infantry, light infantry, whatever you want to call it. They're not technically
Yeah.
light infantry, but yeah.
So even if there's a fight now, if you look at the macro, Daniel is gonna do what he always does. He's gonna go Imperial.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. He's up right now. I like that the army units are a lot closer for Speedflyer, but they're obviously like 80 down, 70 down. The unit composition is a little bit better though, I think. That's a lot of skirmishers and Yumi, and the opponent has a lot of goons, so I don't think they're gonna lose this fight. Not unless the opponent adds a whole lot of cavalry or something, or does some more things around the map. Let's see. Let's look at units in queue real quick. See what players are going for. Daniel is making some cavalry. We also have some Eagle Runner Knights and Reuter out, so I like the composition from Speedflyer more. But still an advantage in numbers for Team Fluffy Unicorns.
Yeah, I agree. But at unit wise, right now Outcast doesn't have anything. So as soon as the French guy starts to make some gendarmes, I think the game could be over.
Yeah, it could
But
be.
for now, it's going goons.
Yeah. I would prefer France to make cavalry and ports to make goons rather than the opposite. But hey, you're going age 5 right now. You have such an advantage. You can do whatever you want at this point, kind of.
Yeah.
It looks like this fight is going to be cleaned up. It is 249 to 317. Where is all the population? A lot of military population back at home, cleaning up a few muskets raiding and whatnot. That's gonna hurt them.
Yeah. At this point, I don't want to make the stream uninteresting in any ways, but I would say this game is over at this point. They're just waiting. They're not resigning because the team Fluffy Unicorns doesn't really force them to yet. They're just getting the Imperial upgrades, I would assume, and then I'm expecting sort of a right click.
Yeah, it's a 199 versus 105 military population and 317 versus 246. So despite having C, and pretty much nearly all of the fish has been cleaned up on C, so it's going to be limited on how much of an impact that will make their that will affect their eco and their boom. Yeah, definitely squarely in favor of Fluffy Unicorns. They're building some walls now just to control the game a little bit more. I'm pretty sure they know that they are in the lead, so they're just wanting to control the game and apply pressure in one area where they have just a large advantage. All right, they call it. All right. Yeah. Alright, we will look at the statistics of that. Right Cook got a lot of advantage with that, a lot of combat XP with the skirms. He also made the cannons at that one point. Ports, quite a bit himself too. Looking at the military, tab, we can see how many Yumi Speedflyer got out. I do have to say, that was a pretty good performance from Speedflyer, pretty good economy and the like, despite not going heavy boom early. It just kind of shows the power of Japan, really.
Yeah, yeah. The I feel like the rush, he was very aggressive with his shipment early, but the
Yeah.
rush didn't really accomplish anything.
I don't think I would have liked to have seen the warships out quite as early as they were. Um, if they had delayed them by like 2 cards or something, then their rush might have been a little bit better. Um,
Yeah,
Perhaps they could have even built an FB and not made units, and forced the opponent to defend. They wouldn't have known that they had units, and then they would have had the eco advantage with maybe 10 warrior priests if he could have gotten that out.
yeah,
Shrine boom and bank boom. Um, but yeah, well played. That concludes game number 1. That is in favor of the Fluffy Unicorns. We'll see if this is going to go to game 2 or game 3. Yeah, good game.
yeah. Good game. Well defended and then out ecoed, I would say.
Yes. And well played on water too, just the right amount at the right time. Um, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He just when they went 2 versus 1 against Daniel, he didn't overcommit. He just felt like I got some eco out of it, and now then he just went full land from there.
Yeah.
So that was a good choice, I think.
It was a lot of warships sent from Team Speedflyer, and while that can be really good, you have to back it up with fishing boats, and they weren't really able to do that because they had to get military units out quickly. So, Team Fluffy Unicorns. Wait, no, sorry. Team Speedflyer picks map. Then Team.
So what were the 2 map bans? I missed that.
The
In the
map
beginning.
bans were Malaysia and Dhaka.
And Dhaka, okay.
And for the Civ bans, we have British banned for Team Fluffy Unicorns and French banned for Team Speedflyer.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, they're picking Cascade Range. Okay, this is interesting.
Interesting.
I think this
Yeah.
I think this is probably a good choice. On this map, rushing a lot of early pressure does a whole lot. There's not a whole lot of room to back up, a lot of space to be given if you're trying to defend. You run out of natural resources pretty quick. It's really important to have the natural resources, obviously. And I think
Yeah.
if it came to later in the game, Team Daniel would have naturally a bit more of an advantage with Daniel being so good at booming. But it could be really close either way on that.
Yeah, and seeing Daniel picking Dutch, I think it's a very good choice because the hunts are fairly low, but Dutch still have the banks, and
Yeah.
with some Scur micro, it's gonna be good against what I expect to be a rush from Speedflyer's team.
Yeah, I agree with that. India picked up by Team Speedflyer. I like that quite a bit. Also, India is one of the civilizations where it's okay to go to rice paddies a little bit earlier than other civilizations going mills and plantations or rice paddies, because of their carny bonus. It actually doesn't. It's not as expensive of a switch, if you will.
Yeah,
And they're also very good at rushing. So, India picked up by Team Speedflyer. India picked up by Team Daniel. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. Scoo Peck123 LeConte. Also earlier Pantrunner. Thank you so much, Pantrunner. Also Spoiled Brat. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it a lot, guys. We are going to game Game number 2. So we have Indian Dutch for both teams. Looks like they're possibly thinking along the same lines.
Yeah, I would suspect or expect rather a cav sieve now from both the teams. Yeah, France.
Uh, you can't. Oh no, they can pick France. Okay, never mind. Yeah. And this is where the ban of France might actually play a role because Speedflyer cannot play France, so because that was banned for them. So they have a few options, but I think France is kind of like on EP, at least in H2, kind of the king of cav civs. There's other civilizations that can compete, such as Brits, or you know, a lot of civilizations can. Germany has the Ulans, but they're a lot weaker. On RE, I would kind of give them the advantage in H2 over France, but on EP, not as much.
Yeah, I agree. So this is funny. They're actually going India Dutch for both teams, and then they pick each other's civ ban, so to speak, as I suspect the cav civ in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. You definitely don't want to. I don't know. I don't think longbows into skirms is the best choice, but it is an option. If you go longbows, you also are not going to be using mines as much. So there is that. I don't think their mines are going to be too much of an issue though, with both teams having Dutch. So
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think we will see in terms of FB here? Because it actually on this map you really need to establish map control, I think, because of the resources. So we might see some aggro on top of aggro action.
yeah, we could see aggro on top of aggro action. That is a possibility. How that's microed if they are placed close to each other is really important. Um, Based on the civilizations outside of India, they don't have super heavy rush civilizations, and even India at higher levels is not usually played with 10-10 in mind. It's not. They have the potential to boon really hard, but they don't usually. I believe I already answered that. Just the delay. It is Brits banned for Fluffy Unicorns. They cannot play Brits, and Team Speedflyer cannot play France. Um, so, yeah. Yeah. So it looks like we might have a substitution. The civs have to stay the same, though. I believe Tori, the panda, is going to be coming in. Yeah. Tori the panda coming in. I guess the third player for Daniel's team,
Black
Riot.
Duck.
Black Duck kind of jumped out real quick. Maybe he's reloading. I don't know. MDS hype. Brit does have great cav. Yeah, like I was saying, there is a few civilization that has great cavalry. The Brits has great cavalry. Spain has great cavalry. France obviously does. Germany has pretty good cavalry. I don't consider them the king though. Not on EP. Not in H2. What other civilizations are there? Let me just look real quick. Remind myself.
Sue, if that
Yeah,
counts.
Sue. Sue is definitely up there. Also, Ottomans, H2, they don't have great cavalry, but they can get a decent amount out early. Russia is also an honorable mention for sure. Yeah, so out of all of those, though, I think French cavalry scales better. Their economy is not necessarily on par with others. Like it's not unnecessarily on par with Brits. Their boom potential from Brits is higher, but I don't know. Brits is really good too. Um,
Yeah, I would say French is better than Brits. Really late game, uh, but Brits eco is just almost ahead of French the entire time up to
yeah,
that.
yeah, I agree with that. Brits eco is slightly better. But once Gendarmes start or Gendarmes, I don't know exactly how to pronounce that, but that's what I was told recently is the right way to pronounce it. Um,
What? Say it again. What did you say?
Gendarmes, something like that.
Jean.
It's
Yeah.
like or Jean, yeah, something like that. I don't know
Jean d'Arc.
exactly. I'm not a French
No, I
speaker.
don't know either. Yeah.
um, yeah. Anyways, once gendarmes start coming out, they are really strong. The French goons are not as strong. British goons are definitely better. Um,
Yeah. They're better once they can send the H2 cards.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
what's nice about that is if there's a long H2 fight and they end up sending the cav cards, then when it goes H3, the Brit cav cards also affect the goons.
yeah, yeah, definitely. There's only one card for France that affects goons. It's the H3 card. Some people aren't aware that neither of the H2 cards for France affect dragoons. Um,
Yeah.
while while British ones have all three affecting goons.
So, do you expect any of the India player to go Samrax, or do you think we will see Seapoys?
Um, hmm, that's a good question. I
No.
automatically had thought Sepoy, but Zambarak I believe are a little bit stronger. Are they a little bit stronger on EP? They might not be. Um,
Think they are a
Sep-
little bit weaker, if I'm not wrong. Like something about they changed the range resist. I'm not super sure though.
yeah. Let me see if I can look that up really quick while we're waiting. Um, Sepoy are definitely sinker. Sepoy are definitely weaker. But I believe the Zambarak are stayed the same. So Zambarak are definitely an option. On a map like this, it's not a very big map. So I might value Sepoy a little bit more, but it's really close. Depends a lot on how they want to play. If there's Agra on top of Agra, I think maybe Zambarak could be better there. Trying to control the map, control the raids, and the like a little bit more. Um,
Yeah, I agree. The problem is because both teams have Dutch, so skirms have pretty long range, so they can quite easily, I would say, with at least with good micro, pick off the Samrax.
yeah,
Um, so it's close.
it is
I would
close.
like to see. I would like to see though forward aggro at least somewhat from both of the Indian players to just not give up the map from the start.
Yeah, you don't want to give up too much. Maybe something like here for Team Speedflyer would be okay. Um,
Yeah,
but you definitely don't want to do like an aggro in base or something like that. A Carney in base is an option. Um, if you go for that, you're gonna have to defend for sure. But you might have the better economy. I could possibly see Star Nine's team doing that with the British advantage over France with the boom. They would have the ability to have a decided eco advantage possibly. Um, on the other hand, I would not do a Carney as Team Fluffy Unicorns. It's obviously a possibility, but if you do a Carney, opponent goes forward Agra, due to the advantage of the economy from Brits over France, the economy between the teams is going to be very much the same with Team Speedflyer having a decided advantage in map control.
yeah, I agree. Both Brits and France really are really dependent on the map. So I would say forward aggro is by far the best way to go here.
Yeah. Yeah. Abamuna, I'm sorry I didn't see what you said in chat first. There's a 2-minute delay, but I wouldn't have you join the game anyways. I am not going to have an 8th player join the game when the players are already complaining about lag. It's working as it is. Yeah. If you wanted to, you could join the Discord of your teammates and have them share the screen, although that would possibly add a little bit to the lag. It's a possibility.
Yeah, I see Hasa in chat right now saying that Sambrax is just better. So that makes me think Seapoy is by far the better choice. Yeah.
Zambrax
No,
allow you to control the map a lot more.
Yeah. In fights, I guess, because they're just behind the skirm sniping the cab.
I don't know. Zambrak are only good versus cavalry, though. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about. If the opponent doesn't go forward with his cavalry, you could argue that the Zambraks aren't doing a whole lot well. If they had Sepoy and Skirm, they would allow them to do a little bit at least. Obviously, muskets or heavy infantry into Skirm is not ideal, but it fares better than Zambrak into Skirm, for sure.
Yeah, and I guess if you are going for Zambrax, you can. Although sour, so it's not the best unit. If you have the camel cards in, you can make a sour switch at some point.
That's true. You can also make a Gurkha switch if you're going Sepoy. So
that is true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think it depends a lot on how the map's being played. If it's more of a stalemate with an aggro out from both teams, then definite advantage over to the team with Zambrax. Allows them to control the map a lot better than the Sepoy.
Yeah.
All right, so we can start taking a look at decks here. Pretty standard deck. I don't know about the exotic hardwoods. And Team Sumptuary Laws is a very interesting card. He is going... Wait, is he going for a market start? He did not go for a market start. I think if you go a market start, it can be okay because it's actually a decent card. It provides 0.8 trickle to each of your teammates. So it's kind of like a little bit better than one villager for your team. It doesn't scale with villagers, so it's kind of like another 3 villager shipment. And if you do a market start, you can send 2 shipments age 1. But he did not do a market start. It's not even necessarily ideal even if you do a market start, but I don't know. I'm not sure I would have had that in deck. For 4v4 it can be really good. But yeah.
Oh, look at this! Look at the deck from Brits, and look at the card the Brits sent first.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, so this is really unique. Calboom coming in from Tori. Definitely unexpected. I'm pretty sure that Daniel's team's gonna notice that. We'll see what they do with it. We have an Agra coming out from Riot Coke. Did he? No, he did not 10-10. Neither India player 10-10'd. Yeah, we can compare the 2 India decks real quick. I think I like Riot Coke's deck a little bit more.
Yeah, I do too.
Looking at the 2 Dutch decks, they're very similar. What's the difference? H3 shipments. H3 shipments is the difference, the main difference. There's also 4 vills in Black Duck's deck. I think I actually like Black Duck's deck a little bit more here, but it's pretty close. I think I definitely like Black Duck's deck a little bit more. Say that 5 times fast.
I think I like Black Duck's deck more. Yeah. I'm not a native speaker, so
that's all right.
But I don't like if I can just say, I don't like the coin upgrade cards, like the plantation cards for Dutch.
I agree with that. Yeah, Royal Mint. Royal Mint can be okay, maybe. I don't like it, but it's definitely better than Textile Mill for sure. But
Yeah.
neither, I wouldn't have either of them as Dutch. Late game, you're gonna have max of 10 villagers on a plantation, and so getting basically 2.5 more. It's not even 2.5 more villagers, but something like 2 more villagers isn't necessarily worth it. But yeah.
Yeah.
I would have far rather have had the age 1 food silos card.
Yeah. Yeah.
For
Just
sure.
get mail cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get mail cards. You'll have the banks. So.
Yeah. So we do have an aggro out from both players. We can go to units and queue, see what players are going for. It is Sepoy and Sepoy. Cav. Tori's still age 1. How much food does he have? He has
He's
0
going
food.
Calvin.
I wonder if it's a boom strategy. I mean, a feed strategy. I wish I could see. I wish that was shown in the UI. But
I think this is like a treaty. I know this is like how treaty players play.
yeah, for sure.
But what do the cards actually do? Can you browse over the cow
Yeah.
cards? Because I have no clue.
Ranching
Yeah.
allows you to build cows, and then the second card
Yeah.
to send is livestock fattens more quickly, and then often you
Uh,
can send this one, which allows them to fatten even faster, and then this one allows you to gather from them 300% faster.
uh,
So Brits have, in my opinion, the best cow boom civilization in the game. However, it's not usually used on Supremacy. If there is, he's still age 1, not even close to aging either. This is intriguing. At least they scouted it. One thing that's really important is Daniel's team scouted the cows. They know they need to put pressure. That Tori is still age 1. Is he feeding resources? That's the thing I'm really curious about. He's building some manors.
I don't think so. I think he just spent all the food on making the cows, which I guess is like 100 food each. And
Yeah.
then once they fatten, he's just gonna have an insane amount of food coming in.
Yeah, he will. It's just the question of whether they can hold on long enough for that to happen or not.
Yeah, I don't think they can. The Star Nine's villagers is running because he knows his TC will die. So
Yeah, but they're running into calves, so
yeah,
they're close to the TC at least. But 4 banks out. It looks like they just went as heavily boom, as heavy of a boom as they could, and they're just gonna hold on for dear life while they wait for the cows to kick in. I think honestly, I would have perhaps rushed the Brits player here. He obviously. Does he still have... I think he might be feeding resources. It's a possibility. He only has 2 villagers on food. It's so strange. We'll go back to shipments sent. Let's see how fattened these cows are. Some of them are near being ready to be fattened. But he's going to have to age up first or feed resources or something. And he's eating them now. 8 minutes 30 seconds into the game. And we have Sepoy versus Skirms here. There's some Skirms behind. A few villagers going down. I think they're just trying to provide as much cover for the villagers as possible. Allows 3 of them to to be saved. I'm not sure I would have done that though. I think I would have just sacked 6 villagers. Wait, are they calling good game? They resigned?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. That was interesting, to say the least.
I know Bobby likes the no-name guy likes to do this sometimes with Brits in team, but I don't know if he sends all those 3 cards to start with.
If you're staying age 1, I think it makes some sense. But
yeah,
I think honestly, after building the cows, I would have just put everyone on food, and then tried to age up. I don't know. I have never done this build in Supremacy, so I'm not an expert by any means. But I think perhaps if Tori had stayed in, they might have been able to do something, make it work.
Maybe, yeah. Look at I mean, the score for if you compare the Dutch player,
Uh-huh.
he's behind, but he's not that behind. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Let's see. I don't know. I think if Tori had stayed in, they might have had a chance. I don't know.
they they were still behind, but
They
maybe
they were
just with.
definitely behind, but the question is whether the cow boom would have been enough to, whether it would have kicked in early enough or not. But yeah, yeah, definitely a unique strategy. It's not something you see very common. Should have just sent Colonial Militia. Yeah, I don't think we can look at the post-game stats. Look at the resources gathered. Um, Look at the military units. He did not even send Colonial Militia. He could have sent the card. That's something that would be interesting to note. If you had the Colonial Militia card in deck, wait, sorry. You would it would allow you to at least have some units that could be used in Age 1 with the 15 Colonial Militia and then the additional 6. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but if you go for this build, you do want to spend the cards on the cow cards, I guess. Otherwise, why even go for it? So I don't know if you can fit it in sometimes. Maybe instead of this last cow card, the team, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, it's team plus 20% gather rate for herded animals. Some interesting things to note is it actually affects the Indian livestock, and it also affects Japanese shrines. So in some situations, it could be somewhat decent. I could see it on a livestock map. India going on a livestock map, it's much more viable than a map without livestock. I will say that much. It allows you to almost instantly get some cows or llamas or sheep or something on them, and allows you to get a return a lot sooner. Um,
Yeah, and since they picked the map, why pick this map to do this?
mm, I don't know.
So
I don't know is the
so
short
aggressive.
answer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One thing is to note, if for whatever reason they were not expecting fluffy unicorns to rush, because they didn't rush in the last game. They defended, but they didn't rush. If they were not expecting fluffy unicorns to rush, and fluffy unicorns did not rush, I could see it being pretty viable. Because on this map even because the cows give you a lot more natural resources, if you will. So there's that. Thanks for the follow, Bruno Cecil. Yeah, yeah, interesting strategy. I think it was not necessarily ideal, but it was kind of close to paying off, possibly. It would have been really interesting to see if Tori had stayed in, or what could have been done. I think perhaps if you're feeding resources, it can be even a little bit better because it allows your team to defend a little bit better. You definitely want to age up at some point, but I wouldn't try to age before if you're trying to feed resources, I wouldn't age before gathering the cows.
Yeah. What if you just go H2 and then make like a military building, make some masks or cav, and then you start sending instead of manor booming sending these cards. Maybe that's safer.
Mm, it delays it a lot. I don't I don't know. I'm not an expert in cow
Yeah.
booming with Brits.
No.
So
What?
I'm just
Just asking.
theorizing. Uh, okay, so if the situations where I see it being very viable is if the enemy doesn't rush, or there's livestock already on the map, um, or a map where you're able to defend well enough, such as I don't know, maybe Fraser River or something, where you're able to wall, do a completely
Yeah,
wall the map with very few wall segments. Um, I could see it being viable.
yeah. I
Outside of
guess.
those, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it's probably not very good. It just can work sometimes, and when you
Yeah,
get away with it, you have probably an insane eco.
yeah, for sure. It depends a lot upon whether their opponent rushes or not. I think that's the biggest deciding factor, and I think perhaps Speedflyer's team was not expecting them to rush.
Yeah,
All right, that concludes game number 2. That is the last game in this series. Well played, teams. Let me just make sure they know that. Yep. Um, that that concludes the game number 2. Well played. Fluffy Unicorns advances. Speed Flyers team does not. We will hopefully see them in future tournaments. We'll see about that. I know Speed Flyer is really interested in DE. Um, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, so looking at the teams that have advanced, we have Haz's team advancing, Fluffy Unicorns team advancing, the Grills team advancing,
let's go.
Fake advancing, Pinky and the Brains, uh, Xanter and Jammin advancing. Also, Swiss Sugar's team is advancing. So yeah, so that was a good match. Let me update this real quick. It was 1-2 here and 2-1, and then 20 GMT. I'm just gonna do this 2-0, and where is it? 0-2. All right. All right, so that concludes it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it a lot. I think we're gonna end this stream here. Let me see if there's someone good to host. I appreciate the support a lot, and as does everyone here. I'm gonna send you guys over to Harrison. He is pretty awesome, and yeah, I appreciate him a lot. So we're gonna send you guys over